Scientists warn Yellowstone supervolcano, warning catastrophic eruption would destroy all life on Earth. Yellowstone's supervolcano could have enough magma to destroy life on Earth in a matter of decades. This is what scientists and researchers are warning yet again. New research shows pressure beneath the Yellowstone supervolcano could build much quicker than they previously thought. And this type of an eruption could make Earth uninhabitable. Research was presented recently by the Arizona State University in a meeting in Oregon. And it goes against the previous findings, in which that could take thousands of years to build up. So the previous findings said, oh, it's okay, don't worry about it now. It could be in the next 1,000 years that this happens. However, the most recent findings state that that's not so, that it could be imminent. Scientists say it could happen within tens of years. This is after a study analyzing crystals in volcanic rocks found in the area showed that that would be the case. As the crystals grew, they were increasingly prone to being influenced by their surroundings, such as pressure, heat, and water content. After the eruption, before the eruption, the researchers found that there was an extremely fast buildup in pressure and temperature surrounding these crystals, and this showed that pressure beneath the surface of the powerful supervolcano built very rapidly. The lead researcher was Hannah Shamlow. She's of the Arizona State University, and she told New York Times, quote, "It's shocking how little time is required to take a volcanic system from being quiet and sitting there to the edge of an eruption," end quote. Her colleagues, Chrissy Hill, said, "We expect that there might be processes happening over thousands of years preceding the eruption," end quote. And she added, "Instead, the outer rims of the crystals reveal a clear uptick in temperature and a change in composition that occurred on a rapid time scale. And that would mean that the super eruption transpired only decades after an injection of fresh magma beneath the supervolcano." With her research, which shows that a buildup could occur very easily within a lifetime, scientists now hope that they will be able to spot other warning signs. Mrs. Till added, it's one thing to think that this slow, gradual buildup. It's another thing to think about how you mobile 1,000 cubic kilometers of magma in a decade. However, they stated that chances of an eruption do remain small, but there could be much less of a warning if Yellowstone were to blow. Very recently, the volcano in Wyoming, the supervolcano of Yellowstone, has experienced a near-record earthquake swarm beneath the surface, prompting fears that this could mean that it's about to blow. The usual peaceful volcano has now experienced almost 3,000 earthquakes since June 12th. In actuality, there's 2,750 earthquakes, which could indicate that it is ready to burst back into life. This is the second most active swarm of quakes since record keeping began for the Yellowstone supervolcano. So that's not good. However, U.S. Geological Survey, the USGS, Mike Poland says the swarm is likely nothing to worry about, but it will help experts learn more about the powerful supervolcano. He told Newsweek, "This is the sort of work that will happen in the months to come as we gather up all of the available data and start crunching numbers." The Yellowstone caldera supervolcano, the last time they erupted was about 70,000 years ago. If this supervolcano were to erupt, it would kill an estimated 87,000 people immediately and make 2/3 of the United States immediately uninhabitable. 2/3 of the US. The large spew of ash into the atmosphere would block out the sunlight and directly affect beneath it, creating a nuclear winter. The massive eruption could be staggering, 6,000 times as powerful as the one from Washington's Mount St. Helens in 1980 that killed 57 people and deposited ash in 11 different states and 5 Canadian provinces. Canada only has 10 provinces, so that's half of Canada, and 11 states. If the volcano explodes, a climate shift could ensue, as the volcano would spew massive amounts of sulfur dioxide into the atmosphere, which can form a sulfur aerosol that reflects and absorbs light. Sunlight, of course. And another thing that's not mentioned yet in this article, but from one of our previous posts, we did report the fact that in 2014, when again at that point the researchers said that Yellowstone was about to blow and that the eruption was imminent, the United States went into an agreement with 4 or 5, I can't remember, I think it was, well, let's be conservative, 4 separate foreign countries of the southern hemisphere, and they paid tens of billions of dollars for a 10-year contract starting 2014, ending 2024, for the acceptance of evacuees because of the Yellowstone supervolcano eruption. Millions of evacuees would be displaced from the United States, from the Northern Hemisphere altogether, and be forced, well, God willing, at least they are alive, they'll be moved, relocated to foreign countries in the Southern Hemisphere, in the South, where they believe that the ash and the catastrophic gases and lava ballistically spewing out will not affect the Southern Hemisphere. So this is on Express UK, and it seems that every time new research is done on Yellowstone, they find bigger magma chambers, they find carbon lakes of carbon underneath the magma chambers, and the fact that instead of the volcanic lava eruption, it could even be huge water geysers erupting, which is even worse than a lava eruption from what the previous post I gave you tells us. So this is not good news. Now there are some of our people here that sub and watch my videos that live in that area. I don't know what they could do to perhaps move out and find a place to live that's as far away as possible from Yellowstone. What can I say? This is not good news. I'll leave a link below for you. This is on Express UK. And one thing that we have to also say here, the major cities that will be immediately affected in the event of an eruption are these here: Boise, Idaho; Billings, Montana; Salt Lake City, Utah; Denver, Colorado; Cheyenne, Wyoming, and Rapid City, and the Dakotas. And of course we see it stretching all the way down towards Arizona, all the way up towards Saskatchewan and Alberta, and a little bit of British Columbia. And this is just being conservative. And this would take in, of course, tens of millions of Americans. And this is just from the beginning. After that, weeks later, it'll stretch throughout 2/3 of the United States. An immediate volcanic winter, and from what the evacuation agreement tells us, they believe that it will affect immediately the whole of the Northern Hemisphere, of the whole planet. And that's why they had tens of billions up to 2014 paid. They've already paid for this in order to evacuate Americans to 4 foreign countries of the Southern Hemisphere. Now, who is on that list? Who will be evacuated? Who knows? Perhaps the ones that have been told they will be evacuated have already been informed and they have tickets just in case they get a special telephone call to appear somewhere immediately to be airlifted somewhere else. That's not, it's a reality. What can we say? It's a reality. Not everyone could be airlifted, but there are those special people that will be airlifted. Now, this agreement finishes in the year 2024, and they will have to re-enter an agreement right after that, because this agreement was only for 10 years. And every 10 years, they have to go into a new agreement. They even asked South Africa to accept. South Africa declined. They said, if we have that many millions of whites entering South Africa, that means we're going to have an apartheid system again. We're going to run into the same problems we had before. And they decided not to accept any Americans because of the fact that 60% of Americans are Caucasian anyway. And they figure if you bring in a huge amount of people, 60% of which are Caucasians, you're going to affect the makeup of our populace. And that's why they refused having Americans accepted to be relocated in South Africa. That's from what I remember. So this is real, and the scientists are now saying that the eruption is probably closer than we think. And we'll keep updates coming as they come into us. Kindly support by contributing to my Patreon account. You'll find it in the description box below. Thank you.